Welcome back. In this episode, we are going to address the question, is real estate equity liquid? I'll just cut to the chase. Absolutely not, and I'm going to share why. I want to empower you with this vision of how to always maintain the utmost liquidity, the ability to access your money when you need it with an electronic funds transfer or phone call by not trapping it in the piece of real estate. Also, by using this, you'll be able to get out of debt quicker, faster, smarter. But when we have life setbacks, I want you to be able to access that money without having to borrow it back from the mortgage banker, because when you need it the worst, it's the hardest to get. So listen close. It's a lot better to have and not need than need and not have. It's a lot better to have access to your real estate equity and not need it than need it and not be able to get it. So my name's Doug Andrew, and I've been a financial strategist, retirement planning specialist for more than 45 years. And I've seen countless people lose a lot of money in their hard-earned equity in their real estate investments, mainly because they were paying it off the wrong way. They thought the best way to get out of debt was by sending extra principal payments to the mortgage company. And as I've often explained, if you send an extra $100 or $200 or $500 against your principal, it's almost like saying, here, Mr. Banker's an extra $500. Don't pay me any interest on this. If I want it back, I'll borrow it back on your terms and prove there's a need why I should have it. Now, whenever I say that, people go, what? That sounds stupid. Well, I think it is, because when you do that and we have unforeseen setbacks, and we all have them, do you know the number one cause of home foreclosure for years was physical disability? But do you know the chance of you becoming financially disabled is even greater than permanently physically disabled? Because we have setbacks. It used to be in my father's generation, you had one career your entire lifetime. Then it got down to, well, maybe 7 job changes. Do you know younger people might have 20 to 30 job changes in their life? And this is why we teach that your money should be earning more than you do by age 32, so that when you're changing jobs, you don't have to worry about where am I going to get my next paycheck to make my mortgage payment. But what you want is liquid access to money, so when life's curved balls are thrown at you, so to speak, you can access that money without having to go to the mortgage banker and prove there's a need why you should have it. Because when you need it the worst, it's the hardest to get. See, most banks and credit unions and mortgage companies, they don't loan you money based upon, the collateral. They will tie it up. They loan you that money based upon your ability to repay. If you lose that ability to repay and you go to borrow, they're going to say, fat chance. Okay? That's what I mean. It's a lot better to have access to your real estate equity and not need it than need it and not be able to get it. Unfortunately, just real estate equity trapped in the property is not as liquid as most people think. Because people think, well, it's worth this. I have $150,000 of equity. I'll just go borrow it. Well, maybe you can't qualify when you need it. Or I'll just sell it. I learned that lesson. If you need to sell it and it's not the best time to sell it, you just gave up $100,000 or $200,000 of equity that you've been trying to accumulate by paying down the mortgage, or maybe the property went up in value and now it's going down in value. You want to make sure, if you do what I do, I like to keep my real estate equity always separated in a position of utmost liquidity and safety. My favorite vehicle to do that is what I call the laser fund, which I explain in other educational videos, because the laser fund passes the liquidity and safety and rate of return test with flying colors, where real estate sort of failed those 3 tests because I learned the hard way I could not access my equity when I needed it. It was not safe when the house went down in value. And actually, real estate equity earns a 0 rate of return. See, the house is going to go up or down in value regardless of whether it's mortgaged to the hilt or free and clear. When I have my equity separated, now I'm earning a rate of return on top of whatever the house does. The point is, I'm in control. I would love for you to always be in control and maintain utmost liquidity on any real estate property by understanding that by having that liquidity, that will keep you from losing what you've been accumulating. Many people understand leverage, being able to own a property by using OPM, where I borrow money at 3, 4, 5, 6% tax deductible, but I'm making more than that. See, that's leverage. There are some people who say, oh, leverage is bad. No, leverage isn't bad. It's the parable of the talents in the Bible. Leverage without liquidity is stupidity. So I want you to learn from my mistakes. After I lost that home in foreclosure in 1982, every other time since that my home or my real estate has gone down in value, I haven't lost anything because I had my equity over into my laser fund. And so you're probably wondering, what is this laser fund? I would encourage you to click on this episode to understand the power behind tax-free accumulation of your money, what I call the laser fund, or you can click on any of the links below and read some of the books and information to understand what investments pass liquidity, safety, and rate of return tests.